for this challenge, we're going to be making use of the parameter feature that came into Prep in 2021.4. So we're going to be looking at building a Pareto chart, but without the chart. So how many customers make up 80% of our sales, for example, but the user can change what percentage of sales they want to see. So we start off with a simple data set that has customers and their orders that they placed and how much sales value that order was. So we first of all want to aggregate it up. We don't want this order ID level of detail. We want to aggregate it to just be total sales per customer. Okay, so we're just going to group by our customer ID, group by our first name and surname, and sum our sales. Okay, then we're going to work out the percentage of total that each customer contributes to the sales. And for that, we'll use a level of detail calculation to first of all work out the total overall sales. So we do that by going to our sales field, going to the three dots menu here and saying create calculator field, fixed LOD. That brings up this editor that was just on screen, and we get our total sales. Okay, then to create our percentage of total field, we just do our sales times by 100 over our total sales. Okay, nice and simple so far. Now for the running total that we want to calculate. Okay, and this one's a little bit more hidden. So what we do now is if I open up this calculated field that I wrote, then it's the running percent of total sales. And this syntax may be a little bit unfamiliar, but it's the same sort of syntax that's going on when you do a ranking calculation in Tableau Prep. So we're ordering by our percentage of total field in a descending order, and we're doing a window sum of the percent of total. So you may not know that the window sum is in Tableau Prep. It's kind of a little bit hidden in there, but we can use that in Tableau Prep like we would in Tableau Desktop. Okay. And so that gives us this running total, as you can see. So we're then going to calculate our total number of customers that we have before we do any filtering. So that's again another level of detail calculation where we're just doing a count distinct of the customer ID. And now comes the time to create our parameter. So our parameters are located up here. We click on that, and if I say created a parameter from scratch, I would just name it. Here I've named this one sales percent. I choose the data type. In this instance, I went for a whole number. I thought that that's enough control, so the user can put in 80. That would be taken as 80%. And we're allowing all values in this case. Okay, and that's how it looks when you created the parameter. I can change this value here to be anything I like within reason. And then in order to make it take effect, I added a filter in here, and my filter is the running percent total sales is less than or equal to the sales percent. And that is my parameter. It goes purple just like it does in Tableau Desktop. Then I just get rid of this additional total customers field because we don't need it for this first output. And our first output is complete. You can see that I've got in my output name that I've got my Pareto output, and then I've put in my sales percent here as well, so that I can see that this is my Pareto output for 80%. Okay, and then in terms of getting that second output to put it into plain English, we're going to aggregate, so we're going to group by our total customers that we calculated at this step, count our distinct customer IDs, calculate that percentage of total here, so rounding it to 0 decimal places to just get a whole number there. And then we can write the field in words and say that our percent of total customers plus percentage of customers account for our parameter there, percentage of sales. And once we've removed the fields, we're just left with this one row and one field. 50% of customers account for 80% of sales. And similarly, we do an output here as well, where we name it Pareto in words with our sales percent parameter in there. And now when I come to hit run flow, it prompts me to put in a parameter value. So I've got my 80 here. I run the workflow and I replace what's already existing there. and our output is created. If I were to change this to be something like 75 instead, oops, there we go, and set that, then now we can see that that output is updated to 44% of customers account for 75% of sales. So hopefully you enjoyed this challenge looking into parameters in Prep, and thanks very much for watching.